Title: My wife joked in Italian at the family dinner. I smiled politely, then replied in perfect Italian. Her family went silent. Start: I'd rehearsed that smile. Calm, polite, harmless. The kind of smile a fool wears before the knife goes in. The dining room smelled of roasted garlic and expensive wine. Her family's laughter filled the air, easy and familiar. I sat at the far end of the table, the foreigner, the husband who didn't quite fit the rhythm of their words. That was the role I played, for years. The quiet one, the outsider. She made the joke halfway through the second course, a casual comment, quick, sharp, and in Italian. Her brothers laughed. Her mother covered her mouth, pretending not to. Even her father chuckled. I didn't move, just sipped my wine. I understood every word. She had called me un povero idiota, a poor idiot. Said I wouldn't notice the lipstick on her collar because I was too American to see what's in front of me. That was the punchline. The laughter was the applause. I looked at her, my wife of 7 years, the woman I built a life with, the woman I trusted. Her eyes met mine only for a second, then slid away. And in that second, I knew. We met in Florence. I was teaching a semester abroad. She was the local guide assigned to my group. She was sunlight and wine and reckless laughter. I didn't stand a chance. She said she loved my accent, my kindness, my honesty. I believed her. When we married, I learned the rhythms of her language, not for conversation, but for intimacy. For her. She never knew how fluent I became. I wanted to surprise her one day. Funny how life delivers surprises of its own. The first sign was the perfume. Not hers. Too heavy, too cheap. Then the late meetings. The sudden urge to keep her phone face down. I'm not impulsive. I didn't confront. I observed. I waited. I read the messages when she left her laptop open one night. The language switched between English and Italian. But I understood both. He was one of her family's business partners, a man her father trusted. Their messages weren't just flirtation. They were logistics, a plan. They were moving money. My money. I had invested in her family's vineyard 2 years earlier, a generous act of faith. She and her father convinced me it would bring us closer, a legacy for the family. I signed the papers. I thought I was securing our future. Instead, they'd been quietly shifting assets, naming new accounts, transferring shares, erasing my name. By the time I discovered it, they'd nearly finished. I didn't rage. I didn't throw things or shout. I just closed the laptop, poured myself a drink, and began to plan. It took 3 months. I hired a translator, not to translate, but to notarize the documents I wrote myself. Legal reassignments, paperwork trails, digital breadcrumbs. Every account they touched, I traced. Every hidden transaction, I mirrored with one of my own. They thought they were siphoning my investment. In truth, they were depositing it into a trust, one I controlled entirely. Her father's accountant never suspected a thing. He'd been so confident in his little shell games, he didn't notice the replacement forms I'd slipped into the signature pile. My Italian had improved enough to write them myself. By the time they realized the vineyard's ownership had shifted, I had already transferred the deed, quietly, legally, to me. And that brings me back to the dinner. Her mother served tiramisu. Her father poured a vintage I had once gifted him. They toasted to family. I raised my glass too. The irony tasted better than the wine. Then came her joke, the insult, the laughter. When it quieted, I spoke, calm, precise, in perfect Italian. "È curioso," I said. "I understand more than you think." The room froze. I looked directly at her father. Particolarmente about the vineyard. And the new account in Geneva. Silence. Utter, suffocating silence. Her fork trembled. Her mother's hand went to her mouth. Her father's jaw tightened. I continued, every word deliberate. The documents are filed. The land is mine. Every euro you moved is now under my name. You might want to contact your lawyer before dessert. She whispered my name once, soft, like a plea. I didn't look at her. Her father stood up, muttering something sharp, low, venomous. But he didn't deny it. He couldn't. The weight of the room collapsed inward. The laughter had curdled into something else. Fear, maybe, or guilt. I rose slowly, buttoned my jacket, and set my napkin on the table. "Thank you for dinner," I said in English. Then, in Italian, "And thank you for teaching me your language. It's been enlightening." I didn't see her for a week after that. She came home eventually. Tears, apologies, the usual script. Said her father had pressured her, that it wasn't about love or betrayal, just survival. I listened. Then I handed her an envelope. Inside, divorce papers, translated into Italian, signed, notarized, filed. Her share? Gone. The house? Sold. Her inheritance? Frozen. She stared at me like she didn't recognize the man sitting across from her. Maybe she didn't. Maybe that was the point. "I loved you," she said. "I know," I replied. "So did I." Now, sometimes, when I pour a glass from that same Vineyards bottle, the one that bears my name, I think of that night, the laughter, the moment her voice cracked when she realized what I'd done. I don't feel guilt, not anymore, because vengeance isn't anger, it's order restored. And when she joked in Italian that night, she wasn't wrong. I was the fool once, just not the kind she thought. She taught me her language to bring me closer. I learned it to set myself free.